On a bright, sunny day, the small town of Willow Creek buzzed with excitement. It was not an ordinary day. Today marked the arrival of alien students from a distant planet called Zafira. The news spread quickly throughout the town. Everyone was eager to meet these visitors from the stars. Parents whispered to their children, and children raced around, imagining what the aliens would look like. Would they be green and scaly, or would they have big, friendly eyes? As the hour approached, a crowd gathered at the local school. The children held colorful banners welcoming the aliens. Teachers arranged chairs in front of the school, preparing for the special event. The air was filled with anticipation. Suddenly, a shimmering spacecraft descended from the sky, glowing under the sunlight. It was a sight to behold. The crowd gasped as the ship landed softly on the schoolyard. A few moments later, the hatch opened and a ramp slid down. A group of 6 alien students stepped out. They were not what the crowd expected. The aliens looked human, but with some noticeable differences. They had tall, slender bodies, and their skin shimmered like the surface of a calm lake. Their eyes were large and bright, filled with curiosity and excitement. They wore strange yet beautiful clothing made from sparkling fabric that changed colors in the light. The school principal, Mr. Thompson, stepped forward to welcome the visitors. "Hello, and welcome to Earth," he said, his voice warm and friendly. "We are excited to have you here. I hope you enjoy your stay and learn a lot." The alien students looked around, taking in their new surroundings. They seemed fascinated by everything: the trees, the flowers, and even the little children running around. One alien, a girl named Ilara, pointed at a butterfly fluttering nearby. "It's so beautiful," she exclaimed in a melodic voice. The group of alien students nodded in agreement, their eyes sparkling with wonder. They were eager to explore this new world and learn about the humans who lived here. After the welcome ceremony, the aliens were assigned to different human hosts. Each student would stay with a human family for a week. Ilara was paired with a girl named Lily, who was about the same age. Lily was thrilled to have a new friend from another planet. "You can stay in my room. We can play games and explore together," she said excitedly. Ilara smiled. "I would like that very much. Thank you, Lily." She felt a rush of happiness. The humans were kind, and she was excited to learn more about them. As the day continued, the alien students attended their first class at the school. Dr. Sarah, the school's health teacher, was known for her enthusiasm. She had prepared a special lesson on first aid for the aliens. She believed that teaching them these skills would help them understand humans better. In the classroom, Dr. Sarah introduced herself. "Welcome, everyone. Today, we will learn about first aid, which is how to help someone when they get hurt. It's very important for everyone, no matter where you are from." The alien students looked intrigued, but some were skeptical. One boy, Del, raised his hand and asked, "Why should we learn about your ways of helping? We have advanced technology that can heal instantly." Dr. Sarah smiled at Cell, knowing that some of the aliens had strong beliefs about their technology. "That's a great question, Cell. While your technology is impressive, emergencies can happen unexpectedly. Sometimes we need to act quickly to help others before advanced technology can arrive." Zell crossed his arms, still unsure. "But our methods are superior." "Maybe so," Dr. Sarah replied gently. "But every skill has its value. Let's see how humans handle emergencies, and you can decide for yourself." As the class went on, Dr. Sarah demonstrated basic first aid techniques. She showed them how to treat cuts and bruises and how to perform CPR. The alien students watched carefully, and some even took notes. Ilara was particularly fascinated by the CPR demonstration. "You can save someone's life by just pressing on their chest?" she asked, her eyes wide with interest. "Yes," Dr. Sarah replied, pleased to see the students engaging. "It's one of the most important skills you can learn." After the lesson, the students gathered in small groups to practice what they learned. Some were eager to try, while others remained hesitant. Ilara partnered with Lily, who was excited to help her practice bandaging techniques. "This is fun." Ilara laughed as Lily wrapped a bandage around her arm. "You are a good teacher." Lily grinned. "Thanks. I think you'll be great at this." Meanwhile, Cell and another alien student, Kira, struggled to wrap a bandage around a practice dummy. "I don't see the point," Cell muttered, frustrated. "This is too simple." Kira nodded but said, "Maybe we will understand it better once we see it in action." As the day came to an end, the alien students returned home with their human hosts. Ilara felt happy but also curious about what more they would learn. She looked out of the window, gazing at the stars. "Maybe Earth has more to offer than we thought," she whispered to herself. She couldn't wait to learn more about human skills and their ways of life. That night, as the stars twinkled in the sky, the alien students settled into their new lives, ready to explore the wonders of Earth and discover what they could learn from their human friends. Little did they know, their journey was just beginning, and it would soon change their views about humanity forever. You said, learning together. The following day began with a fresh excitement in the air. Ilara and Lily awoke early, eager to start their new adventure together. The sun peeked through the curtains, casting a warm glow in the room. Ilara gazed out the window at the trees swaying gently in the breeze. She felt a rush of happiness. "Good morning, Ilara," Lily said cheerfully as she bounced out of bed. "Today we're going to visit the town's community center. You'll love it." "What is a community center?" Ilara asked, her curiosity piqued. "It's a place where people gather to have fun, learn new things, and help each other," Lily explained, her eyes sparkling with enthusiasm. "There are classes, games, and even a place for art." Ilara smiled, imagining all the activities they could do. "I can't wait." After breakfast, they headed to the community center. The place was alive with laughter and chatter. People of all ages filled the rooms, engaged in various activities. Some were painting, while others were practicing music or playing games. Ilara watched in awe, her eyes wide with wonder. "This is amazing," she exclaimed, looking around. "Your people have so many talents." Lily beamed with pride. "Yes, everyone can find something they love here." They wandered through the building until they found a room where a group was gathered for a first aid class. Dr. Sarah was leading the session again. "Come on, let's join," Lily urged Ilara, pulling her into the room. Ilara felt a mixture of excitement and nervousness. She had practiced a little with Lily, but she wanted to see how humans applied these skills in real situations. Dr. Sarah smiled at them as they entered. "Welcome back, Ilara and Lily. Today, we'll practice more advanced first aid techniques. Are you ready?" "Yes," Ilara said, her heart racing. The class started with a demonstration on how to handle fractures. Dr. Sarah showed them how to stabilize a broken arm using splints. Ilara listened carefully, noting every detail. Cell and Kira were also in the room, looking a bit bored. Cell leaned back in his chair, arms crossed, while Kira sat beside him, watching quietly. "Why are we learning this?" Cell whispered to Kira. "It seems unnecessary." Kira replied, "It's important to understand how humans respond in emergencies. Maybe there's something we can learn here." Zell rolled his eyes. "If someone gets hurt, we can just fix them instantly with our tech." Ilara overheard their conversation and decided to speak up. "Zell, what if you can't use your technology right away? Emergencies don't always give us time." Zell paused, considering her words. "I suppose that makes sense," he admitted. As the class continued, Ilara was chosen to assist Dr. Sarah in demonstrating how to wrap a sprained ankle. She felt nervous but excited. With Dr. Sarah's guidance, Ilara carefully wrapped the bandage around the dummy's ankle. "Great job, Ilara," Dr. Sarah praised. "You're a natural at this." Ilara beamed with pride, feeling more confident. After the demonstration, it was the students' turn to practice on each other. Lily and Ilara teamed up again. They laughed and worked together, trying different techniques. Ilara began to feel more comfortable, and she enjoyed helping her new friend. Meanwhile, Zell and Kira practiced on another dummy. Zell was still skeptical, but Kira was eager to learn. "Let's try the ankle wrap," Kira suggested. Zell sighed but nodded. He grabbed the bandage, trying to mimic what he saw. "Okay, but this better not take too long," he grumbled. As they practiced, Dr. Sarah noticed Zell's hesitance. "Zell, would you like to try it on a real person?" she asked, pointing to a volunteer who had come to help with the class. Zell's eyes widened in surprise. "On a real person?" "Yes, it's a great opportunity to learn," Dr. Sarah encouraged. With a hesitant nod, Zell stepped forward. He approached the volunteer and followed Dr. Sarah's instructions carefully. As he wrapped the bandage, he started to focus. To his surprise, he found that he enjoyed the challenge. "Good job, Zell," Dr. Sarah said when he finished. Zell felt a rush of pride, his earlier doubts fading. At the end of the class, Ilara, Lily, Zell, and Kira gathered outside. "Maybe this isn't so bad," Zell admitted, a small smile creeping onto his face. "I see the value in learning these skills." Kira nodded, looking thoughtful. "Yes, it's useful to understand human methods. They have different experiences than we do." Ilara felt happy that Zell was coming around. "I think we all have something to learn from each other," she said, smiling brightly. Lily grinned, "And we can have fun while doing it. Let's go try some art classes next." The group headed to the art room, where they found colorful paints and canvases. Ilara's eyes sparkled with delight. "I love art," she exclaimed. As they began to paint, laughter filled the air. Ilara painted a picture of the stars and the planets, while Lily created a colorful landscape of their town. Seal and Kira experimented with colors and shapes, finding joy in the process. The hours flew by as they shared stories about their worlds while creating beautiful art. Ilara realized that the time spent together was building a strong bond between them. They were learning from each other and enjoying every moment. As the sun began to set, casting a warm glow over the community center, Ilara felt a sense of belonging. She had come to Earth to learn, but she was also making friends and discovering the beauty of human connections. Today was incredible, Ilara said, looking at her friends. "I'm excited to see what tomorrow brings." Everyone nodded in agreement, smiles on their faces. They had taken their first steps into a new friendship filled with curiosity and excitement. Little did they know, the lessons they were learning together would change their perspectives forever. He challenged. The following day, excitement buzzed in the air as Ilara, Lily, Zell, and Kira arrived at the community center. They had quickly formed a bond, united by their curiosity and eagerness to learn about each other's cultures. Today, they were going to participate in a special challenge, a team-building exercise designed to test their newly learned first aid skills. "Are you ready for the challenge?" Lily asked, bouncing on her toes. Her energy was infectious, and Ilara felt a rush of anticipation. "Ready," Ilara said, her heart racing with excitement. Zell, still a bit skeptical, raised an eyebrow. "What kind of challenge are we talking about?" Dr. Sarah entered the room with a bright smile. "Welcome, everyone. Today, you will work in teams to complete various first aid scenarios. Each team will face a different situation and must demonstrate the skills you've learned. Are you ready?" Both teams worked diligently, determined to show what they had learned. Ilara felt her adrenaline pumping as they moved through the scenario, remembering each step. Finally, time was called, and they gathered together again. Dr. Sarah looked impressed. "You all did an incredible job. Each team showed improvement and great teamwork. Now let's discuss what you learned today." As they shared their thoughts, Ilara felt a sense of accomplishment. They had faced challenges together, learned valuable skills, and built a stronger bond. Today was amazing, Ilara exclaimed, her voice filled with excitement. We really came together as a team. Zell nodded, his earlier doubts fading. I didn't think I would enjoy this, but it was fun, he admitted, a smile forming on his face. Kira beamed at him. I knew we could do it. Lily clapped her hands together. Let's keep practicing. We can become even better. Ilara's heart swelled with joy. They were not just learning about first aid. They were learning about friendship and trust. Each challenge brought them closer together, and she felt grateful to be a part of this unique team. As they left the community center, the sun began to set, painting the sky with hues of orange and pink. Ilara felt a warmth inside her, excited for the adventures that lay ahead. Together, they were becoming not only better friends but also better people, ready to face whatever challenges the universe might throw at them. The demonstration day. The days flew by, filled with laughter, learning, and unexpected challenges. Ilara, Lily, Gazelle, and Kira met every day at the community center, honing their first aid skills. Each session built upon the last, and their bond grew stronger with every shared experience. Now, it was time for the big day, the demonstration in front of the entire school. The announcement echoed through the halls. Attention, students. Tomorrow, we will have a demonstration of human first aid skills. Everyone is encouraged to attend. Ilara felt a mix of excitement and nerves. She knew they had worked hard, but the thought of performing in front of everyone made her stomach flutter. Are you ready for this? She asked her friends as they gathered for practice. We've practiced a lot. I think we can do this, Lily said with a bright smile. Gazelle, who had grown more confident, added, Yes. We've learned so much. Let's show them how capable we are. Kira nodded, her eyes sparkling with determination. We can impress them. Just remember everything we practiced. That night, Ilara struggled to sleep. Thoughts raced through her mind, filled with visions of the demonstration. What if they messed up? What if the audience didn't understand their techniques? Finally, she fell into a restless sleep, hoping for the best. The next day dawned bright and clear. Ilara woke up feeling a mix of excitement and apprehension. After a quick breakfast, she put on her best outfit, hoping to feel more confident. Today is the day, she reminded herself as she headed to the community center. When Ilara arrived, the room buzzed with energy. Students were milling about, chatting excitedly. She spotted her friends, who were also gearing up for the demonstration. They shared nervous smiles, and Ilara felt her anxiety begin to fade. Dr. Sarah gathered everyone together and explained the plan for the demonstration. Today, our focus is to showcase the incredible first aid skills our human friends have taught you. We want you to demonstrate their techniques for everyone to see. Ilara felt a wave of determination wash over her. We can do this, she whispered to Lily, who nodded back. As the time approached for their demonstration, the group took deep breaths, ready to face the audience. They stood in front of their classmates, with a few teachers and students from other grades watching. Ilara's heart raced as she saw the curious faces before her. Dr. Sarah stepped forward. I'm excited to introduce our students who have learned so much about first aid. Please welcome Ilara, Lily, Gazelle, and Kira. Applause broke out in the room, and Ilara felt her cheeks flush. They took their places in front of the audience, ready to demonstrate the first aid techniques they had practiced. Today, we will show you how to handle common injuries, Ilara began, her voice steady despite her nerves. First, we will demonstrate how to treat a burn injury. Lily stepped forward, taking charge. When treating a burn, it's important to cool the area first. She held up a cool compress as Ilara explained the steps they had practiced together. Next, we will cover the burn with a clean cloth to protect it, Ilara added, moving gracefully as they worked through the demonstration. She felt the rhythm of their practice guiding her, and soon the nerves faded away. The audience watched attentively, and Ilara could see curiosity on their faces. After completing the burn demonstration, they moved on to the next scenario, treating a cut. Cuts can happen anywhere, so it's important to know how to treat them properly, Kira explained, showing the audience how to clean the wound and apply a bandage. Zell chimed in. And remember to always wash your hands before treating someone. He emphasized the importance of hygiene, and the audience nodded in understanding. With each demonstration, Ilara felt more confident. The teamwork and trust they had built shone through their actions, and they managed to engage the audience effectively. They worked seamlessly, each friend knowing exactly when to step in and support the others. After the first few demonstrations, the energy in the room shifted. Students began to ask questions. What if the burn is really bad? One student called out. Ilara and her friends took turns answering, sharing the knowledge they had gained. That's a great question. If a burn is severe, you should seek help from a medical professional right away, Kira responded. As they continued to demonstrate, the audience became more involved. The atmosphere was filled with laughter and genuine interest. Ilara realized that they were not just performing for the crowd, they were connecting with them. Finally, it was time for the last demonstration. Treating the sprained ankle. Ilara felt a rush of excitement as they prepared for the final. This is one of the most common injuries, she explained. Here's how to treat it. Lily quickly moved to the front and acted out the scenario. Oh no, I fell, she exclaimed dramatically, pretending to sprain her ankle. Ilara jumped into action. First, we need to assess the injury, she said, kneeling beside Lily. They demonstrated how to stabilize the ankle and apply an ice pack. As they worked, Ilara felt a surge of confidence. Remember, rice rest, ice, compression, elevation. She called out to the audience, who echoed back the words with enthusiasm. After the final demonstration, Dr. Sarah clapped her hands. Well done. You all showed incredible teamwork and knowledge. Let's give them a round of applause. The room erupted into cheers and applause. Ilara's heart swelled with pride as she and her friends took a bow. They had done it. They had shared their knowledge and connected with their audience in a way that felt meaningful. As they stepped off the stage, Lily threw her arms around Ilara. We did it. I can't believe how well that went. Zell grinned from ear to ear. I wasn't as nervous as I thought I'd be. Kira smiled, her eyes sparkling. We really made an impact. Ilara felt a rush of happiness. They had faced their fears, demonstrated their skills, and inspired their classmates. It was a day they would never forget. As they left the community center, Ilara couldn't help but reflect on how far they had come. Not only had they learned about first aid, but they had also built lasting friendships and a sense of community. Together, they had shown that knowledge and teamwork could bridge gaps and create understanding among different worlds. Looking up at the sky, which was painted with brilliant hues of orange and purple as the sun set, Ilara felt a deep sense of gratitude. They were ready for whatever adventures lay ahead, united in their shared experiences and newfound confidence. Together, they were unstoppable. You said, a challenge arises. The successful demonstration had energized the group, but a new challenge was on the horizon. As they returned to their routine, whispers began to circulate throughout the school. Some students were skeptical about the human first aid techniques, dismissing them as unnecessary for their advanced technology. This skepticism reached Ilara and her friends, creating a sense of unease. One afternoon, while practicing in the community center, they overheard a group of students discussing the recent demonstration. Did you see how they treated that burn? It's so primitive. One student scoffed. We have machines that can heal injuries instantly. Why should we listen to them? Ilara's heart sank at the dismissive remarks. She turned to her friends, concern etched on her face. Do you think we should do something about this? Lily frowned. It's not fair. We worked so hard, and they just don't understand the importance of basic first aid. Zell, who had become more outspoken, added, maybe we need to show them why this knowledge matters. Just because they have advanced technology doesn't mean they shouldn't learn these skills. Kira nodded in agreement. We should host another event. this time to challenge their perceptions. We can invite them to try out our techniques themselves. Excitement sparked among the group, and they quickly began brainstorming ideas for the event. Let's call it the First Aid Challenge. Ilara proposed. We can set up stations where students can learn and practice human first aid techniques. The group spent the next few days planning the event, reaching out to fellow students to encourage participation. They created colorful posters and announced the challenge throughout the school, urging everyone to join in and see the value of what they had learned. Finally, the day of the First Aid Challenge arrived. The community center buzzed with anticipation as students gathered, some curious about the event and others skeptical. Ilara, Lily, Zell, and Kira stood at the front, ready to welcome everyone. "Welcome to the First Aid Challenge," Ilara announced, her voice ringing with excitement. "Today, we will show you the value of human first aid techniques. We invite you all to participate and see for yourselves." Some students exchanged skeptical glances, but others looked intrigued. As Ilara started explaining the different stations they had set up, a few brave souls stepped forward to join in. Lily led the first station, where students could practice bandaging techniques. This is essential for anyone, no matter how advanced your technology is. Accidents happen everywhere, and knowing how to treat injuries can save lives. As students began wrapping bandages around each other's arms, giggles and laughter filled the room. Ilara watched as some students who had previously doubted their skills started to take it seriously. Meanwhile, Kira led the station for treating burns. This may seem simple, but if someone gets burned, knowing how to cool it down quickly can make all the difference, she explained. Zell managed the station for treating sprains, demonstrating the rice method once again. Even with advanced technology, injuries like these can happen in everyday life, he emphasized. Learning these techniques empowers you to help others. As the stations filled with students, the atmosphere shifted. The previous skepticism faded as more students began to appreciate the importance of human first aid skills. They were learning, sharing stories, and asking questions. The four friends were thrilled to see their classmates engaging with the material. In one corner of the room, Ilara spotted a group of students who had been particularly dismissive during the demonstration. They had gathered around Lily, who was patiently showing them how to properly apply a bandage. Ilara felt a rush of pride watching her friend confidently explain the process. Suddenly, a familiar face emerged from the crowd. It was Tarek, one of the more skeptical students. He approached Ilara, crossing his arms, a challenge evident in his gaze. "So, you really think this stuff is worth our time?" Ilara took a deep breath, ready to respond. "Yes, I do. Even with advanced technology, there will always be situations where knowing basic first aid is crucial. What if someone is injured far from medical help? What will you do then?" Tarek hesitated, the wheels in his mind visibly turning. "I guess I never thought about it that way." As the event continued, the energy in the room reached a peak. Students were laughing, sharing experiences, and genuinely learning from one another. Even those who had initially doubted the human techniques began to appreciate their value. After the challenge, Ilara gathered her friends to discuss their success. "That went better than I expected," she exclaimed, her eyes shining with excitement. "I think we really changed some minds today." Lily grinned, still catching her breath. They were actually having fun. "I think we've shown them how useful this knowledge is." Zell added, "And it feels good to share what we've learned. We're making a difference." Kira nodded. "I'm proud of us. We stood up for our skills, and people listened. Maybe this is just the beginning of something great." As the sun began to set, casting a warm glow over the community center, Ilara looked around at her friends and the bustling crowd. They had faced challenges together and turned skepticism into understanding. This journey was about more than just teaching first aid. It was about building bridges between different worlds and showing the power of knowledge. Ilara felt a sense of fulfillment wash over her. They were not just students learning about first aid. They were pioneers, changing perspectives and making a lasting impact. With each shared experience, they were proving that humanity's knowledge could be a source of strength and connection in the galaxy. And as they stood together, united in their mission, Ilara couldn't help but feel that this was only the beginning of their adventures. With determination in their hearts and friendship at their side, they were ready to face whatever challenges lay ahead. You said, the unexpected emergency. The excitement from the first aid challenge had not only energized the students but also sparked curiosity among the faculty. Teachers began to notice a change in the students, who were now discussing first aid techniques and sharing experiences. The community center buzzed with life, and Ilara and her friends felt a renewed sense of purpose. A week after the challenge, Ilara and Lily were sitting in the common area, discussing plans for their next project. They had been considering hosting a workshop to teach first aid to more students, but they needed to come up with an engaging theme. As they brainstormed, Excel and Kira joined them, eager to contribute. What if we focus on emergency situations? Cell suggested. We can create scenarios for students to practice what they've learned in real-life situations. That's a great idea, Kira chimed in. We can set up a mock emergency in the park and have students respond to it. It would make it more realistic. Ilara nodded enthusiastically. Let's plan it. We can even invite some teachers to oversee the scenarios and provide feedback. With excitement buzzing among them, the group set to work planning the emergency workshop. They divided the tasks. Kira and Tel would set up the scenarios in the park, while Ilara and Lily created informative materials for the participants. On the day of the workshop, students gathered at the park, chatting and laughing as they looked around. Ilara and her friends welcomed everyone, their energy infectious. Welcome to our emergency first aid workshop, Ilara announced, her voice ringing out. Today we will put your skills to the test with real-life scenarios. As the workshop began, the group divided the participants into teams, each assigned to different emergency situations. One team was tasked with treating a sprained ankle, another with managing a burn, and a third with performing CPR on a mock patient. Ilara felt a rush of pride watching everyone engage with the scenarios. While the workshop was in full swing, laughter and excitement filled the air. Students practiced bandaging techniques and simulated rescues, their confidence growing with each scenario. Ilara, Lily, Gazelle, and Kira moved among the groups, offering guidance and encouragement. Suddenly, amidst the laughter, a loud commotion erupted near the edge of the park. Ilara's heart sank as she rushed toward the noise, her friends following closely behind. As they approached, they saw a small crowd gathered, and in the center lay a student who had fallen off a swing. Panic spread through the crowd. The student was lying on the ground, clutching her leg in pain. Ilara felt a surge of adrenaline. This was the real-life emergency they had prepared for, but now it was happening right before their eyes. Ilara, Lily shouted, her voice filled with concern. What do we do? Stay calm, Ilara replied, her voice steady. We can help her. Zell and Kira quickly rushed to the fallen student's side. Ilara instructed the crowd to give them space. Let's assess the situation first, she said, crouching beside Kira, who was checking the injured student's leg. Is it broken, or is it just a sprain? Kira looked up, her brow furrowed. It looks swollen. We should elevate it and apply some ice. Lily, grab some of the ice packs from our supplies, Ilara called. Gazelle, can you keep her calm and talk to her? It's important she stays still. Zell nodded and knelt beside the student, gently holding her hand. You're going to be okay. We're here to help you. Just try to breathe. As Lily hurried to get the ice packs, Ilara took charge. She had always dreamed of being in a situation where her skills could make a difference, and now that dream was a reality. Can anyone call for help? Ilara asked, scanning the crowd. A few students stepped forward, pulling out their devices to contact the school's medical team. Perfect, Ilara said, returning her attention to the student. Now let's keep her leg elevated. Kira, you can help me stabilize it while we wait for medical assistance. Kira nodded, quickly working alongside Ilara to prop up the injured leg. As they worked, Ilara felt a mix of determination and anxiety. This was a chance to put their training into practice, and she was determined not to let fear take over. In a matter of minutes, the school's medical team arrived, accompanied by a few teachers. The students parted to let them through, and Ilara stepped aside, her heart racing. She watched as the medical team assessed the situation, praising her group for their quick actions. "You did a great job," one of the medics said to Ilara. Keeping her calm and stabilizing the injury helped a lot. Ilara felt a wave of relief wash over her. They had done it. They had handled a real emergency, and it was proof that their training was worthwhile. As the medical team prepared to transport the student for further evaluation, Ilara gathered her friends together. "We did it," she exclaimed, her voice bubbling with excitement. "We actually helped someone." Lily grinned, her eyes shining. "I can't believe how well we worked together. It was just like in training." Zell nodded, still feeling the adrenaline pumping through his veins. "We proved that our skills are valuable. I think they'll take us seriously now." Kira smiled, her eyes bright. "This was an amazing experience. We should continue organizing events like this." As the day drew to a close, Ilara felt a deep sense of satisfaction. They had faced an unexpected challenge and responded with courage and skill. They had shown their classmates, and themselves, that knowledge and teamwork could make a difference, even in the most surprising situations. Ilara couldn't wait to see how this experience would shape their future adventures together. They had overcome obstacles, built connections, and inspired each other along the way. With their heads held high and determination in their hearts, they were ready to face whatever challenges lay ahead. You said, "A new beginning." In the days following the emergency workshop, the excitement in the school was palpable. The incident had sparked discussions not just about first aid, but also about teamwork and bravery. Ilara and her friends found themselves at the center of this newfound enthusiasm, recognized as leaders by their peers and teachers alike. As they gathered in the common area, Ilara looked around at her friends. "I think we should celebrate what we accomplished. The workshop was a success, and we helped someone in real need," she said, her voice filled with enthusiasm. "Maybe we can organize a fun event to keep the momentum going." Lily clapped her hands together, her eyes sparkling. "How about a community day? We can invite everyone to participate in different activities and demonstrations, including more first aid training." "That's a brilliant idea," Kira added. "We can have booths, games, and maybe even some prizes. This way, we can spread awareness and keep everyone engaged." "Let's not forget about our alien friends," Cell said, glancing around. "They've learned so much about humanity. We can showcase our cultures and traditions while emphasizing the importance of helping one another." Ilara beamed with pride at their unity. "All right then, let's make it happen. We'll meet tomorrow to start planning, and we'll need everyone's help to pull this off." Over the next week, the group worked tirelessly to organize the community day. They put up posters, made announcements, and even invited students from neighboring schools to join in on the fun. The anticipation grew, and soon the entire school buzzed with excitement. Finally, the day of the event arrived. The sun shone brightly, and students flooded the park, laughing and chatting as they set up booths and activities. Ilara, Lily, Zell, and Kira were busy directing traffic, making sure everything was in place. "Okay, everyone," Ilara shouted to the crowd, her voice echoing over the park. "Welcome to our community day. We have a fun-filled day planned, including games, food, and of course, more first aid training." Cheers erupted from the crowd, and Ilara felt a surge of joy. She looked over at the first aid booth they had set up. It was bustling with activity as students practiced bandaging techniques and CPR on the dummies they had borrowed from the school. As the day progressed, Elara took a moment to observe the scene around her. Friends were laughing together, new friendships were forming, and there was a palpable sense of unity. She felt proud of what they had created. "Hey, Elara," Kira called out, waving her over. "Look, the alien students are showing everyone how to prepare their traditional dishes." Curious, Elara made her way over to the booth. The alien students had set up a colorful display filled with exotic ingredients. They explained their dishes, encouraging students to taste and learn about their culture. Elara watched as everyone eagerly sampled the food, their faces lighting up with delight. "This is incredible," one of the students exclaimed, trying a strange green fruit. "I've never tasted anything like this before." Elara smiled, feeling grateful for the opportunity to bring everyone together. As the afternoon sun dipped lower in the sky, casting a golden hue over the park, she gathered her friends. "We did it, everyone. Look at how far we've come," Elara said, her voice brimming with emotion. "We've created a space where everyone feels welcome, learns, and grows together. This is just the beginning." Just then, a hush fell over the crowd as an elder alien stepped forward. He was a respected member of their community and had watched the events unfold with a proud smile. "You young ones have shown great strength and courage," he said, his voice resonating with warmth. "You have bridged the gap between our worlds and have opened our eyes to the power of unity. Thank you for sharing your knowledge and for helping us learn." A wave of applause erupted from the crowd, and Elara felt tears of joy welling up in her eyes. She hugged her friends tightly, overwhelmed by the gratitude and recognition they had received. As the day came to a close, the group gathered around a bonfire, sharing stories and laughter under the stars. They reflected on their journey, from the first aid challenge to the unexpected emergency, and now to this celebration of unity and friendship. Elara felt a deep sense of fulfillment, knowing that they had made a real difference. "We've built something special here," Cell said, breaking the comfortable silence. "It's not just about first aid or competitions. It's about understanding and caring for each other, regardless of our backgrounds." Lily nodded in agreement. "This is what humanity is all about, showing compassion and support. We've all learned from each other, and I can't wait to see where this journey takes us next." Elara looked at her friends, her heart swelling with pride. "Together, we can face any challenge. No matter what the future holds, we will always stand united." As the fire crackled, casting a warm glow over the group, Elara felt a sense of hope for what lay ahead. This was just the beginning of their adventure, and she couldn't wait to see how they would continue to grow and inspire others. Together, they had forged a bond that transcended the stars, and their story was far from over.